Hello and welcome. This is Kevin, also known as AWOL. And today we're going to work with this pattern. I think this one could actually turn out kind of fun. It is number 85038 on friendshipbracelets.net. And I'm just going to grab this bit here at the top where the pattern is and Control C and bring it over here to my template, Control V. Now we're going to rotate this 90 degrees. And we're going to enlarge it like that so we can kind of see what we're working with. And we're going to put it to a new layer so we can kind of move it around if necessary. Although, I don't think we're going to need a whole lot of that. So there's two different ways I can do the center. I can either do the center as the dot here or the dark here, right? And at first, my first thought was the dot. And now I'm suddenly second guessing myself. Okay, because what we're going to do is this is all coming down, right? We're going to flip it so it goes the other way for the bottom half. And I'm kind of curious as to what happens in the outer area when those two collide. Like I said, my first thought was to put it on the blue dot. But now I really am confused. I honestly think both would look good. Now let's go with the blue dot. Since it was my first instinct, maybe we do this one again at some point. I'm suddenly that's funny to me. Like I'm suddenly really lost as to like it could have gone either way. All right. Whoa. I left it on the fill hole selection. Okay, so it's fill similar colors. That allows us to do this. And so that's our little one in the center, and these just go all the way outwards. And then it's just like this. And because this is so nice and symmetrical, we only have to worry about one side, so we can make this nice and quick and easy. So typically when working with the 12 strings like this, I would consider this to be like a 6-color bracelet. Because when you're cutting up your strings and stuff, you kind of do the math off of this formula that I have. In this case, it is kind of the same, except for 3 of those colors are the same color, and 3 of them are alternates. Right? So in theirs, it's white, light blue, and a dark blue. And then in mine, we probably do something a little bit different. This comes out to there. Right. Now, wonder if it's easier to put in I think since the dark ones are going to be kind of a lot of them, I think the easy way of doing this will be to put in the other colors. So let's start with kind of a red. And that's what we're going to put into the middle. And apparently it's out here as well. And we can see that basically this is just going to kind of zigzag in between all of the dark ones. Like that. So we'll put in its path like this. every once in a while, some of these kind of patterns are kind of self-explanatory. I mean, okay, so if you're brand new to trying to do pattern making, this might not have been as self-explanatory to you. Um, but let me try to explain how I see this and why I think this is an easier one. So these black ones are pretty much every other string. All right, there's 3 of them out of the 6, or 6 out of 12 if you count the whole thing, right? So we know that those are every other one. In this case, the red is just showing up in these 2 places back and forth. And so we know that there's only the one strand, and we know that the only way that it could get to all those places is by bouncing like this. It's just, you know. So the next one might be a little bit trickier because in the next one, it only does 1 dot each time all the way down. So we're going to do orange for that. All right, so there's an orange here, 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 all the way down. So this one has some possibilities of where it's going. So maybe in order to kind of narrow it down, figuring out where it's going, it might make more sense for us to have a look at the yellows. And I'm not entirely sure that that's going to be all that definitive, right? Because there's so many different ways we can go with this. See, what I wanted to do is I wanted to just fill in all of the darks at once, but I think if I'm going to be kind and help you guys to understand how this works, I think I'm going to have to fill in at least some of these darks. And then, yeah. So we can see the darks are like, again, the every other one thing, right? And that explains like how this comes down here like this and back. And this one came out and came back this way. And this one is going to come through this way. So by just kind of filling in a little bit here, we're probably made it so we can see exactly where everything else is going to go. And I'll show you how we know that. See, this orange is the next one here, and it has to go somewhere to get to here, right? So it goes underneath the red, goes underneath our black, goes underneath our yellow, and comes up here. And then it's going to bounce because of the red, and then it's going to bounce because of the yellow, and it'll bounce because of the red, and bounce because of the yellow, and it's just going to continue that all the way down. So if there was any question about how that might work, all we had to do was fill in a little bit of the other stuff. If it ever seems too complicated, go for what's easiest. And once you put in the easy part, whatever you have left will become easy as well. So next would be the yellow. So obviously we have the red, the orange, the yellow, and it came in, goes under, comes over here, and then it bounces back. And it's just going to keep doing that. Comes in and then bounces back out. And then down. All right, so that's basically our whole top half here. We can hide our example thing. I'm going to do it this way because this will be a little bit more fun. So I can copy just this area using my grid lines, right? So copy and paste. And if I use the flip tool, I can flip this horizontally and I can shift it over here, right? And it's all nice and lined up, perfect. Again, because we have the grid lines, it just snaps right on there. Okay, now I'm going to take the whole top half, Control C, Control V, and we are going to flip this vertically. And we still have a whole bunch of strings to color in. All right, all of the rest of the black ones that basically we made it look like brown, but it's the black strings. Right? But this way it kind of looks a little bit cooler than how I normally do it. Normally I would get it early on and then all the blues become the dark and then it's kind of weird, but now it's going to be done here. So I grab the dark color and go back to that whole fill hole selection. And because we select by the color, color of the blue, all of those little brown, all the little spaces of blue can all be turned to the brown in one big swoop. And there we have our bracelet. And there we have an interesting center. Like I said, I was curious as to how that would turn out. That actually, that's really cool. I kind of didn't know what to expect. And again, if we had made it so that way it wasn't the dot in the center, it would have been off of that other point. It would have been very different. Well, I say very different. It would have been different, not very different. It would have been different. So, hey, hopefully you guys enjoyed this. I had a good time. I'm going to enjoy making this. I won't get around to making it until Monday. And then, yeah, then the website will go up and you can see the pattern and everything. All that will be up on Monday. So, just a way of making things a little bit easier for myself. Hopefully you guys understand. Yeah, the other way was just hard. And yeah, if you want to learn more about that, become a member. We've talked about it over on the live streams for members only. So if you want to do that, it's the join button right next to the subscribe. All right, guys. Thanks for hanging out with me. Thank you to my Patreon supporters as well as my YouTube members who make these tutorials possible. With their help, I'm able to buy floss and cool things, like cameras and microphones and stuff. So thanks again very much to you guys. And as always, don't get your strings in a bunch.